Hello, everybody. I hope you are all well. And thank you for your patience. And thank you for being here. If you're seeing this, thank you to members, for anyone who's still present as a subscriber or just lands on the video. This will be a podcast style, so you can listen in and you can maybe either just listen, put your phone down, or look at any visuals that might come up. So this is going to be kind of a predictions reading with themes as well. It is a predictions readings with themes. And for some reason I'm getting asked to, although I always say it, I hope you are all well. How are you all doing? Spirit stopping me to say that. Maybe I thought I'd said it in the beginning, but if not, I generally do. I don't know why I was stopped to ask. So in my predictions for July, I actually recorded this. There was a problem with the audio. I had some other stuff that I've had to really dedicate time to. Like I say, if you do enjoy stuff on the channel, please help it grow so that I can, get a coffee on a monthly basis would just be great. But it would be amazing to grow the channel, especially when we do deliver some good info. Now, I don't know what news we have, Nancy Guthrie, etc. I know there's the FIFA World Cup. I think Spain might take it. And so with July, I feel like July really, my prediction was that it reflects moving towards, totalitarian digital societies, multiple polarities, and the opposition of these trends will start to become more evident in July by different themes. So that's really an energy prediction I was getting. I do think in July there was a window, and we might still be in it, that I'd written down, that a window of deaths, unfortunately. And I do know that we had a couple of, I think within a matter of 2 days, possibly some, known people pass away. And the window I have noted is the 10th to the 17th. I do think that the oil prices are going to continue to increase. And I do want to pull cards, but I'm starting to get this download and messaging that that's Donald Trump, might not fulfill his term based on current energy full term, but he will be still here 2026. So if you're partying, pulling your thumbs at the opposing party of the Republicans, I'm not here for that. But that's just like an inkling. It's not that he's gonna pass away as well either, and we don't wish that on anyone. I do think there's going to be a leader in the news from now and towards the end of July, beginning of August. And you will know what news when you see what I mean. I think at the end of July, we are going to have a significant person born who's going to end up being a leader, a very prominent leader. I do see that. So that's going to be very interesting if you give birth around the 29th, 30th. I don't know if we've got 31 days in July. It's giving me around that end of July period. In July, and in this next 4 weeks, I know we're already in July, but over this next 4 weeks, and we might have started to see it, repetition is going to be difficult to ignore. And there's going to be a lot of kind of fake voices, AI that's manipulated images, political propaganda and lies coming up. I'm not just talking about July here. These are predictions coming up. And experts, that controversy around experts against experts, a lot of that I see across the plane, and that could be in any area. the government contradicting itself, government contradicting government, the AI apocalypse. Said that wrong. I've written it right. I've said it wrong. And just with all this going on, we have to realize that it'd be normal to feel anxious and the nervous system to feel exhausted. And one may not realize it's actually affecting themselves or oneself or your relative more than they actually know this is actually affecting them. They just feel like there's a lot of angst and nervous system is just overloaded. But, you know, what we will continue to see, and I've mentioned this before, is that the biggest crisis is the trust we've lost. The biggest crisis is watching the contradiction on wars that we're starting to see. Intelligence, government secrecy, maritime tensions are going to be coming up because there's also going to be water border disputes. Events where the first public speech that was given actually changes. And the past is going to be coming up for a lot of us. And we're going to be very uncertain for some of us about life. And we might be feeling that now. And it could be in your career. It could be about past people. It could be returning to maybe something you left behind, but you're sort of moving back to it for some reason. And for some of you, it's just returning to what you left, but it doesn't mean that you're moving backwards. It doesn't mean you're going backwards in life by doing that. There's this significant energy for the collective and many of us that something comes back. But the question we have to ask, if this turns up for you, is why is it coming back now? Why is it coming now? The significance of now. And if I go back to the world stage, something on the world stage that was trusted loses its trust. Someone on the world stage that was trusted until now loses the trust. Old political issues are going to, I'd say one or two issues, I don't want to say in general, is going to dominate the headlines again. And this could be like old documents. It could be something, one thought that it's over, closed, sealed, but it's actually not over. It's going to dominate the headlines, so we could look out for there. Of course, the war is going to come back and forth in the headlines. That's one thing. That's, you know, some people think it's done. It's kind of it's just going to keep at this sort of pace. A lot of people are going to be feeling that something's not fitting anymore in their life. And this could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be a city, a location. It could even be you see that, you know, your, I don't know, your son, your daughter's married to someone who's very, very successful. They're very, very successful, but they're very disconnected from their career, from what they feel their life is. And overall, there's this anxiety of this. And a lot of people can't explain what they're feeling, but it relates to this. There's an old identity ending before the new, and this is what it is. And that's the same for globally. Globally, borders, aging political systems, leaderships, government trust issues, institutions forced into restructure is what we will be seeing, and we've started to see. There is a completion, but the new is not quite ready. And so in my next video, I think I'm going to talk about this golden age where there's a continued message about we're in the golden age or golden era or moving towards it, as if like once we arrive it's golden doors and everything's perfect hunky-dory like heaven's expressed. But I want to go into that and I want to channel what I might be getting as a message. Confusion will start to simmer by the end of July. And I do think there's a universal protection. But there's also this manufactured optimism, which some of you might realize is happening. So do look out for these themes, a manufactured optimism or something related to that. And look out for the themes of like AI related euphoria, economic promises, government spending optimism, food security concerns, controversy involving large institutions. You're going to see this in the headlines. These themes are coming up and you're going to see them. Individually, you might be seeing what you desperately want to see and receive. And that could be the perfect solution, the perfect relationship, the perfect business deal. And this is where I say there's that confusion and fog. The world is going to shift from what is happening to who did this? What is this mess? Who did this? As opposed to what is actually happening. This is happening, the war is happening. Who's done all this? Now, I'm not just talking about the war, I'm talking about all the elements. And there is going to be something that happens, and we're not going to say what is happening, talk about it. We're going to be like, who's done this? And it might not be another war. And also, I wouldn't put it past a natural disaster either. And we haven't seen the last of the strongest earthquakes either. The past is coming. The promise of growth is here, and the search for answers is also here. I do think that now, this July we're in, is marking major narrative resets. The truth is harder to establish, even though we're starting to see it. It's harder to actually establish the truth of stuff. Millions are going to be asking if the story we are told and have been told, is it working? Because something looks like it's no longer working. And I also want us to see a side of stuff that anxiety doesn't mean bad, right? When we say anxiety. But it means that an old version, an old something of you, maybe something that doesn't fit your life anymore, might be ending. And maybe you don't know the answer, and you don't need to know the answer. So, one thing, I've been down a rabbit hole with some stuff, and it's kind of like looking at this channeling of energy is that I don't need to know the answer. I can't know all the answers. So maybe see what's returning. Maybe see what is final for you. What is absolutely going and ready to leave, because that is going to be around that theme. And this could also be on an individual basis, that one feels like they're coming back to themselves, their true self, their soul. Something is coming, they're coming back to themselves. And so I wonder, how are you all feeling? And I hope this was helpful. I've made it very short, sweet, but quite compact if you think of everything I've said. And hopefully you are going to feel that this was helpful. The mass level of interest in aliens, UFO, etc. is going to continue. And if you look at my videos, I've done them early on because I know it's coming. and a person emerges that is very different to what is out here, what we know, a person, a well-known person, someone who's going to be on the stage. They're kind of like this special individual. There's something special about them. So, for example, in the past, if it's the US, you might have been like, this is the first Black president. That was something special. I'm not saying the person was present, but you know what I mean. It's like, so it could be a leader, it could be a famous person, but this person, there's something special about them. It could be the category of them. And we might have seen it in FIFA, but there's like a behaving like wild animals in winning things. And that actually imbalances a person's energy. However, there is advice here in the energy to actually have a party, to go out, enjoy yourself, or stay in, enjoy yourself, have a party. It's like a final celebration before you return to work. It's like going on that holiday, booking something and going for a weekend stay, going to the party. That advice, that omen is there. That too much rigidity and righteousness is also not good in the present time we are living in. And some of you might understand why I'm saying that, because of the energies and the collective heaviness. So we need to balance those two things out, not act like wild animals, but not to be too rigid to righteousness. That could be, some of you might like to have a vape or a smoke or whatever, and so you stand in your back garden and that's your thing. Obviously do what's healthy for you, but I'm just saying. So this is what I have right now. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. Take care, stay blessed. If you enjoyed this, you can like, you can leave a comment, you can subscribe, and you can most certainly hype. Thank you very much, and I certainly do hope those of you that you know that you're special are doing well. Take care, and bye for now.